Audio to make sure my audio's up. All right. Okay. All right. Here we go. Hey, welcome back. Hope everybody's doing well. There's a couple of things I want to talk about today, and this live stream is about owning ourselves. Hold on, let me move that there. Owning our past mistakes and taking accountability for the things that accounted for our life and how we as men have been navigating the world, especially men that have been hurt by women, that turn to red pill, that are trying to heal from that. We're going to talk about how to learn how to love and be loved again. And it's not something to be ashamed of. And I think the problem that we have today is that a lot of men are trying to pretend like they don't want to be loved. And the truth is, we do. And everybody wants to be loved in a different way. I think the issue that we're having in our society is we're frustrated by rejection. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about today in the own it portion of this is the first step out of the pit. All right, and I got my little notes over here, so if you see me looking off, it's because I'm trying to make sure I stay on track. Nothing changes until you stop pointing at the woman, at society, and at the system. The day you say, I built this mess, is the day you get the power back. Blame keeps you stuck. Ownership sets you free. There's a book called Extreme Ownership. If you haven't read it, read it, or look over the summary. In a nutshell, you have to take 100% responsibility for your actions, the things you do, and then how you do it, right? And when it comes to where we are and the things that we've been through as men, especially men that consume red pill content, men that turn to red pill after heartbreak, you are the guys that I'm talking to. You are the person that I'm talking to. We do have to own that. You got rejected. You blamed hypergamy. You blamed all these other things. And I understand. And logically, I got it. But there's another side to that coin. And this is hard to hear. And I want you to brace yourself, because it is not try and mend relationships, not try to form relationships. And I use it as a way of bashing women. I use it as a way of not holding myself accountable, because I could have gotten in better shape. I could have worked harder on myself. I could have learned how to connect with a woman. I could have learned all of these things, but I chose not to. And I thought that because I was the prize, that I was better. And truth be told, life is all about growth. The growth comes from acknowledging the pain and growing from it. Rejection is part of life. And in today's world, I think we've gotten to a point where rejection is looked at something like, oh no, I'm a good catch, you shouldn't reject me. But that's not the case. And you can level up. You can create a little bit more awareness about how you present yourself. Okay? So let's acknowledge that. You failed. Well, with this was I got heartbroken. Heartbroken how? Got used by a woman, paid for the date, validation, the whole 9 yards. And then in the end, she ended up not being with me, not giving me the time or the attention that I needed. And she was with how red people, Pookie and Ray Ray, for the people that watch AMS, shout out to AMS. He's a great content creator. And I watched him I still do watch him. He's quite entertaining. But like I said, I understand that. And what I am focused on is I'm focused on guys that actually want to have relationships and want to put aside their hatred. And the guys that, like, if you're one of these guys that have been using red pill as a mask to put on, this is the thing that I'm talking about. You got to take the mask off. I mean, honestly, you're not the victim. It happened to you, and I'm sorry it happened, but we're not the victim. We have to get up and we have to move forward. We move forward by acknowledging what happened and pressing on that. Understanding where we are emotionally, understanding where we are as far as our emotional intelligence, our social intelligence. We need to take a look and say, am I presenting myself to the best of my knowledge, or am I presenting myself in the best way possible in order to connect with another woman? Sorry, a woman, not another woman. But I'm just saying, like, these are the things that you have to ask yourself if you want things to change. And the change doesn't come from hoping that women will change or hoping social media goes away, because truth be told, it's always been this way. It's just been exacerbated by social media. It's blown up. And now it's to a point where women talk to, a couple hundred guys at this point. And I have went back and forth in Reddit forums, in Facebook posts, in all over. Okay. And I look and I talk to these guys, even in person. Let's not forget that too. And I hear the frustration like a lot of guys are having, and it all comes from the same thing. It all comes from the place of, I'm frustrated, this and that and the other. And I look at either the profile picture, I look at what they're wearing. I'm like, dude, look at how you present yourself. Dude, if I was a woman, I wouldn't even want to date you. I wouldn't want to give you the time of day, even if you are a nice guy, because that's just how it is. Take a look in the mirror. Look at how you're presenting yourself. And I know it sounds redundant, and I'm not trying to beat up on you, but it is the truth. And I want to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear. And if you do want to get out of that, that's what you have to do. We do have to change the way that you dress. We need to find something that looks like something that's your age, so you can attract the women that you want. Right? We need to trim that beard, shave that mustache. We need to go get a good haircut. We need to make sure that our skin, our nails, our not eyelashes, our eyebrow, everything, ear hair, nose hair, all of these things the simple grooming stuff makes a huge difference, and all of that. So, yeah. Number 4, accountability and self-hatred. There is a distinct difference. Owning your mistakes doesn't mean you're trash. It means you're a man big enough to hold the truth without crumbling. See, there's a difference between I failed and I'm a failure. One builds and one buries. And that's a very important thing, because what we're trying to do is grow. The goal here is not to shame. It's not to blame. It's not to make anyone feel bad. The goal is to grow. Growth. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. You don't need to be sorry that you were ghosted, or that you felt like that you were used, that you felt like you gave everything and she didn't. Number 5, your feelings are yours to manage. Nobody owes you regulation. You cannot outsource your peace to a woman. And this is one of the biggest things I keep hearing guys say is, she needs to be my peace. She needs to be my peace. And that's not true. That is not true. She shouldn't contribute to your chaos, and she shouldn't contribute to you going crazy, of course. But she is not the source of where your peace lies. That lies in you, right? The moment you own your emotional state, you stop being controlled by it. And that's the leadership. That's the leadership that women need. And a lot of guys think leadership means just telling a woman what to do. And the leadership is being there in a supportive role. In the leader of, hey, we are going to do this. And the leader of, hey, I'm here for you. The leader of, hey, I am bringing clarity to this. Hey, the leader is in, hey, I am going to have fun. I am going to make sure we have a great time. The leadership is in owning who you are, and it's also controlling your own emotions. Because I saw a post the other day, and it was a guy, right? And he said that it was the most cringy thing I think I've seen in a while. He said something about there was it was a picture of some lady, and she was just like, on her knees saying, "Yes, daddy." And the guy, he was like this right here. He was like this. Yeah. And he said that this is what it should be like. And I said, no, it's not. That is not how it should be. And his whole thought process of what he thought a relationship was wrong. Because that is not leadership. That's not the leadership that we need to grow towards. The leadership we need to grow towards is from an emotional place. It is from a place of confidence. It is from a place of security. We're going to build again. We're going to take ownership of our lives. We are not going to let the way that the world is going with AI, with social media, with toxic red pill content creators and stuff like that. Like, we are not going to let this continue to influence the way that we move through life. You can love. You can find someone to love, and you can learn how to be loved and not be worried about your past mistakes repeating themselves. Continue to grow. Continue to own yourself. Continue to understand who you are. If you are a guy